So 9 months ago, I had made a video about my investments, and I was 19 years old at the time, and I just went back and watched that video, and since then, so much has changed. It was crazy to watch it. In the video, I talked about how I didn't use or was just starting to get into Robinhood, and today I use Robinhood almost every single day. It's one of my most used apps, so I'm super excited. I wanted to recreate that video, so I broke everything down on a Google Sheet the same way I did 9 months ago. So I'm just gonna go over all my investments as a 20-year-old investor. Alright, so I'm here in my Google Sheets. I broke this down all in order of greatest to smallest. So I have my Robinhood, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, Coinbase, Webull, Vanguard, and then I talk about my total investments at the end of this. But this is my Robinhood account. It is valued at $33,593. And when I made this video about 9 months ago, I should have watched all the way through, but I know I didn't have more than like $5,000 in here. But I'm going to kind of talk about my portfolio, some of my holdings, just because I recently revised this entire thing. As you can see from my total gain and loss, it's really small right now. But this is very S&P 500 based, and I'm going to talk about why it is. So my biggest holding in this account is SPLG, which is my only ETF in here, and this is an S&P 500 tracking ETF. I have $3,424 of this, and this is just, I would consider this like a stabilizer in the account. Basically all of these other ones are from like the top sectors of the S&P 500, and they're kind of, besides from FTAI Aviation, they kind of make the S&P 500, I'd call it like the graph line. They follow that very similarly. So all of these have a little bit better growth than the S&P 500, but in my opinion, they almost make up the S&P 500. Although they aren't like the top holdings, at least some of them aren't, they do kind of follow that line besides from, I would say, Walmart, because this is more of a dividend stock. Same with, well, JP Morgan follows it pretty good. I think Walmart and FTAI Aviation are the only two that don't follow the S&P 500 like line as strictly. The rest of these are very similar. I have JP Morgan. This is my greatest dividend stock in here. I didn't really plan to have any dividend stocks, and this really isn't intentional. JP Morgan honestly just performs really well, like over the past few years. So these are all pieces out of each little sector. I think I chose from the top 6 sectors. FTAI Aviation is just like my tricky, it was my risky pick, and this one obviously paid off really well. I'm up, I want to say like 40%, maybe it's almost like 48%, but $1,000, so my value on that's $3,200. But basically this is my Robinhood account. This is my single stock account, besides from SPLG. So I hold FTAI Aviation, Costco, Walmart, Google, Microsoft, Synopsys, JP Morgan, Eli Lilly, American Express, T-Mobile, TJX, and CSL. I forget the name of that one. But those are my holdings in this Robinhood account. And this is basically the bulk of my investments. But we're going to move on to my Fidelity account, and this is where I'm a little bit more proud of my account, just because this is what I know is going to work long term. So my Fidelity account is broken up into 3 different ETFs, and I also hold SPLG here. This is honestly, I didn't really mean to split these up this way, to have it in Robinhood and Fidelity, but I want this account to have some sort of stabilizer in it, and I want this one just because I want to hold this basically forever. But my top 3 ETFs that I hold are SCHG, SPLG, and FTEC. And these are all pretty small, like low-priced ETFs. 177 really is still pretty low. This is their expense ratio. I picked these out specifically because of the expense ratio, as well as their 1 to 5 year gain. The distribution yield on these, not too bad. SPLG is the highest. These are their asset classes. This is the index that it tracks, and this is what I've gained over the past, I want to say like it's like 2 or 3 weeks that I've been in on these. I revised this as well, but I have it split up pretty evenly. I have $19,200 in this account, and they're all right around 6,300 to 6,500, but I know this is going to change as time goes on, because I'm really just buying in. Every time one of these drops, I'll buy it, just by a little bit. If it's a bad day, I just buy it. I'm just trying to get a better average what's it called, whatever price that I bought it at, just a better average price. So I'm always buying every time one of these dips, and I know they're going to have different returns, because FTEC is always going to be the highest. It's the most, I wouldn't call it risky, but it has the highest returns, so I just expect this one to end up being larger over time. But that is my ETFs. This is what I'm going to hold forever. This is where the majority of my money's going right now. I want this one to be my main account, just because I kind of believe in this more than anything. Moving on, this is my savings account, and I'm kind of excited to get rid of some of this. I did have a lot more in my Goldman Sachs a little while ago. I just took it out just to leave 1,000 in here, just for if I need to buy something, I can pull it out of this savings account. It's like a high yield. Within like a week, I think it's not too bad. This was honestly a mistake. I put my money into a 14-month CD, and I totally regret it, because I can't pull it out without getting like a penalty that's gonna take off too much. Like, it's not even worth to pull it out. I'd rather just wait. But I'm excited to get this $5,000 back, because that is going right into my Fidelity account as soon as I get that back. But my account value on this one is $6,140. Moving forward, we're getting smaller and smaller. This is my Coinbase account. I'm ready to get rid of this. I don't like crypto. I used to be into it when I was like 18, but I really didn't make any money off of it. It was just kind of like a bad idea. I had around $1,000 something a little while ago in this in Ethereum, and it was staked for like maybe 3 years. I was just slowly pulling it out, but I'm ready to pull this last chunk of money out once it gets back to around 1,000 in portfolio value. But yeah, this is kind of just something I just don't even want it anymore. I'd rather just get this out. This is just $3 that's sitting in there as well, that I'm waiting to pull out with this, because it sits at a 5% yield when it sits in USDC, so it's not even bad to just be sitting there doing nothing. My Webull account, I was kind of messing around for a day. I had some extra money to where it was like, my Fidelity and Robinhood account, there was nothing that I wanted to buy, so I was like, why don't I just start a dividends account? Which I totally am not a dividends person. I don't believe that that is like the true key to wealth when it comes to it. Like, I like dividends on normal stuff like this one where it's smaller, and like my ETFs, I like this type of dividend where it's like really, really tiny. When you have a large amount of money, it's actually impactful. Like these 6%, Ford's really good, but like some of these, I don't know. It was really just something I'm messing around with. There's only $139 in this, and I kind of just have one of each, and it just has a dividend reinvestment. I mean, all of my accounts have dividend reinvestment, but these specifically, I'm messing around with it. I want to build a dividend account because it's kind of fun. Like, it's genuinely something that's like, it's the most video game like thing in investing. I don't know, to me it is, at least. For someone to pay you for putting stuff in, it's like, I don't know. I just wanted to build one just to see what it was like. And it's also a new learning experience, just because these stocks perform completely different from any of these stocks. Maybe Walmart is similar, maybe JP Morgan is similar, but these are very, very different. Like the way they move, what they kind of stand for, like it's just very, very different. But yeah, I want to build this account in the future, but right now I haven't even touched it. This last one, I just wanted to open a Vanguard account, to be honest, and this was the same day that I kind of messed with the Webull account, and I just wanted another one because I know in the future I don't want to hold like too much money in these. Like I don't want to hold over 250,000 in any of these accounts. So I wanted to, like, why not open one now while I can? So I just opened it up. I purchased an Vong. This is Vanguard's growth ETF. I think it's S&P 500 index tracking. But I bought, I think about $100 or something. I've gotten $4.26 out of this, and it has a distribution yield of 0.63. So that is my investments. That is basically a full breakdown of everything that I have invested in. It's kind of what I'm building. I want to get rid of Coinbase. I want to get out of this CD. Put the CD into my Fidelity account, my ETFs. Build this up. I don't really know what I want to do with Vanguard. I just think it's gonna be there for when these hit like 250,000, and that's when I'll start transferring some funds over into this thing. But let's go ahead and talk about the totals. So in Robinhood we got 33,000, Fidelity we got 19,200, Goldman Sachs 6,000, Coinbase $942, Webull 139, Vanguard 104, for a total value of $59,118. So I'm honestly not super stoked on the numbers, because like I've had a lot of loss in my past, like to where it's like if I knew what I was doing now 3 years ago, I'd be 3 times farther than I am right now. But like I don't think I obviously wouldn't have learned if I didn't go through those things, but it's a little bit disappointing to like look at it and be like, oh yeah, well I could be way ahead of what like if someone told me I could be way ahead of what I'm doing right now. But it's pretty good. I'm literally just putting in the hard work to figure out another like stream of income so I can like catch up with this fake reality that I have of what I would be if I didn't mess up. But really it's just how it goes, honestly. I was looking at this one thing talking about it was like a graph showing all investors like paths when they first start out, and it kind of is like we'll start this way. It goes like up and then it kind of dips off, and this is literally how mine looks, and then it goes up from here. And like there was like very few people that actually didn't succeed, but I'm doing fine now. I'm up like 1,000 in Robinhood year to date, which isn't very good, but I'm finally like riding the wave instead of like swimming against it. So we're doing pretty good. So I hope that kind of gives a nice update on what I'm doing, gives you a little insight of what I'm doing, and maybe gives you some ideas of what to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment. If you have absolutely any questions for me, I will answer them. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.